It looks like Grayscale might have won against the SEC. We're getting news breaking right now. We're seeing Bitcoin's price spike up. You can see right down here. Looks pretty small because we're on the 1 day, but it is a big move, breaking out of this trend from the last week and a half. I want to cover it for you and tell you what's happening in the market. Also, give you a really cool new metric and some news too coming out from crypto. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn that bell notification, share this around, share the good news. And if you want to get a hat that is Bitcoin focused, you can check out the link underneath the video, actually right below the description before the comment section to get one of these hats. There's also a link down there to BITGET in case you want to trade cryptocurrency, and there's a link to Patreon in case you want to know what I'm buying and selling, because I was buying some assets here today. Now, as you can see, Bitcoin is spiking up and it happened really quickly. Let's go down to the 1 minute and then I'll show you what's happening. Now, this is not the parabolic move up to 35,000 that some people are expecting from good news in this Grayscale case, but it's still kind of up to interpretation where we're at right now. You can see we had a big spike from about 26.1, 26.2 up to 27,200. So nice $1,000 spike. And that's because of this news. Breaking news. The court found the SEC had not properly explained its decision to reject Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF application, the spot ETF. So it is forcing the SEC to reconsider the application and make a new decision on whether to approve or reject it. Pretty interesting. This obviously is causing the market to spike. Now, GBTC itself is up pretty drastically. I don't know if you can see here, 20.44, which is up 16% on the day. Now, Bitcoin's up 2 or 3%. So obviously, a lot of people are buying up the asset, trying to swallow up that discount. Now, I have been buying GBTC over the last month or two, a little bit, because I think that that ETF will get approved and then that discount will be swallowed up. And you can see it's leaning that way. Now, GBTC is traded OTC, so sometimes it's delayed. It's delayed like 15 minutes. So you can see here it's not even showing up yet, except in trading apps. But that is interesting to see. And this is coming out. Grayscale wins against SEC. Now, even since I started making this video, this is after I was editing it, Bitcoin continues to move up, and you can see the news has changed a little bit. At first, this was kind of like a rumor, like it was just, okay, now they have to go back and say a better reason why they're rejecting the application or they have to approve it. Now, there are posts from literally everyone in crypto. Grayscale wins their lawsuit against the SEC. And let me pull this back up. Apparently, this is a little bit slow. The computer's excited too, and it can't process all these great messages. The court ruled that the spot ETF was wrong to reject Grayscale. What's next? Likely all the other Bitcoin ETFs are going to get approved, and the question really is when, not if. This is what I was thinking as well. It's a question of when. I already thought that they were going to get approved, but it's just a question of when. And then people saying Grayscale wins lawsuit against the SEC. Walter Bloomberg, FES, let's go. So many people talking about how the crypto market's back. Will Clemente saying that we are so back. Bitcoin trending globally. Again, oh no, Matthew Schultz. SEC must review Grayscale's ETF bid. Appeals court rules. Chamath. Let's effing go. Everyone is excited. So if you've made it this far in crypto, I'm getting chills right now. If you've made it this far in crypto, congrats. You've made it through to, I think, the really exciting part of crypto, where we do see the new catalysts happening, getting ready for the next bull run. Now, if you've been accumulating, great. If you haven't, I don't think it's too late. Buying at 27,000 versus 26,000 isn't really going to change anything. We were at 30,000 a couple weeks ago, and we're in a better situation now than we were back then. Now, of course, I don't know when all these are going to get approved. We don't know for sure 100% if they are. It looks like they're going to get approved, maybe 95%, 99% certainty, somewhere in there. But there's always a percent chance that they don't for some reason. Who knows? But just keep your head on straight. I want to talk about a couple other things. One thing super valuable that you need to stay through and watch, because it will help you in the next bull run. It will help you knowing when to sell and when to buy. And I would suggest staying through to the end of the video, but we'll move on from here. Another reason Bitcoin's moving up is just because of the fact, I do have this account, but I'm not signed in. another reason for Bitcoin moving up is just the whole market's moving up right now. We have the NASDAQ up 1%. A lot of high-flying tech stocks are up even more than that. Tesla's up 3%. We have Google up 2.5%. So that definitely is playing into it as well. Now, a couple other good pieces of news and something I think is really valuable. Something I think I will be using in the next bull run to determine, at least in part, when I'm going to sell. I'll show you in a second. It's coming from Will Clemente, a really interesting chart. But we just got news. Twitter acquires required license to add crypto payments. X may possibly introduce a cryptocurrency sending and receiving feature to its million users worldwide. This is just coming as of yesterday. They attained this license required for crypto payments and trading in the US. The Rhode Island currency transmitter license was approved to X on 28th of August. According to data displayed on the NMLS, the license is required to provide virtual asset related services on behalf of users. This is included. This will enable the social media platform to store, transfer, and exchange digital assets for their users. So a lot of people have been annoyed at X or annoyed at Elon for making claims or seeming like they were going to include cryptocurrency payments and then just being quiet about it for months. So hopefully this kind of moves them along in the right direction to continue to strive for that and to be able to offer to more users. Obviously that would be huge for cryptocurrency because a lot of people use Twitter. And then Will Clemente has this post talking about a new evaluation method called coin time. And he talks about it being possibly one of the best things to look at when you're determining the value of Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to go through this. I would suggest reading this on your own as well. The basis of the entire framework is the following: coins times number of blocks held equal coin blocks. So as an example, for BTC that have not moved in 4 blocks totals 16 coin blocks that have been created. Assuming blocks are produced roughly every 10 minutes, one coin can create 144 coin blocks per day. So again, it's basically just a way of determining how long Bitcoin's been held at certain times, or how long certain Bitcoin have been held for. And you can add it up to see what the whole supply has been held for. Now we've established the basis of coin blocks and the calculation of coin block creation. Now we can wrap our heads around coin blocks destroyed. Basically, when BTC are moved, the sum of all coin blocks created now becomes the amount destroyed. The more coin blocks that have been destroyed, the more selling is taking place from longer-term market participants, which can be smart money selling, capitulating, or OGs simply looking to cash out. Here's a chart of coin block destruction. Now, when you look at it, this doesn't make much sense. This isn't the chart that we're going to be looking at for determining when to sell, because sure, some coin blocks destroyed happen around here, around the top. That could cause the market to sell off, right? But then there are other times where they're destroyed at the bottom. There are a lot of coin blocks destroyed right here, and we had a capitulation down, and that was pretty much the time to be buying. That was the lowest point that we had seen in the 2018, 2019 bear market. So this isn't the best option, I think, because this is not always correct when we're going to see the market go straight down for a while or go straight up for a while. But he continues, okay, so we've got coin block creation and coin block destruction down. Now the final piece of the puzzle, coin blocks stored. This is simply the difference between creation and destruction. For example, if 6 coin blocks are destroyed out of 16, 10 coin blocks remain stored. Okay, that makes sense. When we plot out total coin blocks created, destroyed, and stored, this is what it looks like. You can see it here. Now time for the real fun. Let's apply this to the value of Bitcoin. First, understand the percentage of coin blocks created that have been destroyed is called liveliness. And the remaining percentage, the remaining percentage is called vaultedness. Together they equal 100%. That makes sense. Whatever's destroyed and whatever's stored should be equal to the whole supply. Plot them both together and we get this. Okay. Multiply liveliness and vaultedness by Bitcoin supply, giving us the total active and vaulted supply of the network. One way to think about this is it represents Bitcoin's kinetic versus potential energy. Here's the coolest part. Stay with me. Multiplying market cap by liveliness gives us active capitalization. Dividing this by the investor cap, realized cap minus thermal cap, which gives us the value stored in the network minus miners, gives us the AV/IV ratio. This is the holy grail. Okay, AV/IV is, in my opinion, the best valuation model for Bitcoin, which, for those who skipped to this part, essentially compares the amount of actively traded supply to the amount of value stored in the network, almost perfectly spending 50% of the time above one and 50% of the time below one. This is the true mean. You can see here, this almost perfectly shows when you should sell. When we have these spikes up here, significant amount above the median line here, that's a good time to be selling. As you can see here, that was a perfect time. As you can see here, this was a very good time. As you can see here, very good time. When it's down here, this should be buying. This should be buying down here. When we got up here, that was a good time to be selling. When we went down, good time to be buying here. When we went up, good time to be selling. And it was the first peak in 2021 that it captured, which was really the best time to be selling, because for a lot of altcoins and other cryptocurrencies, and for a lot of people in general, they think that this second peak was not really the most valuable Bitcoin got. Now, it got up a couple $1,000s above the previous peak, but keep in mind that was a lot later too, and there's more risk at that point. So as you can see here, this would be the time to sell. Of course, you would have to see it go down, then come back, but as you can see, it perfectly encaptured the next time to be buying. So I'm going to be watching this chart and trying to pay attention to it as much as possible when we go into the next bull market. I think this is probably the holy grail of determining when to sell. And I'm not sure I'm at the same point as Will Clemente, where he thinks this is a good way of valuing Bitcoin, where I could say, okay, now Bitcoin's worth 150,000. I don't think it's like that. I think it's more of a valuable asset to determine when you want to sell. And of course, it's going to come down to personal preference, but this chart is pretty interesting. It does really well when you look at where it's peaked in the past and where it's valued. Now, let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Personally, I think that this is good news for Bitcoin, but I'm not sure exactly if the spot ETF is going to be approved right away. I already thought the ETF was going to get approved. It's just a question of when right now, and I don't think this news necessarily tells us when it's going to be approved. It just tells us it's probably more likely to be approved than ever before. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much. Again, if you want one of these hats, Bitcoin is Freedom, established 2009. You can check out the link underneath the video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.